She was slim, about 25, 26. She had very delicate features. Her eyes are sort of cat-like, wide but alert. Her lips are full. She has a long neck, high cheekbones. Her skin is smooth and bright. She had a lost look in her eye that was both direct and also chilling.
Bear it down.
She's totally focused, yet almost entirely inaccessible.
Do you know her?
No.
What makes Villanelle and Eve such a dynamic and interesting duo? The chemistry and even the compatibility between Eve and Villanelle is palpable throughout the series. As with any couple, albeit fictional or otherwise, the duo do have their share of differences, which also aid to complement the other's overall characteristics. However, it is starkly evident how star-crossed their potential romance stands. Both acting as the hunter and the hunted, both the predator and the prey. Their match is seemingly doomed before it can even begin, deeming them as another trope, that of would-be lovers. It is both Villanelle's advances and Eve's obsession with her that drive the narrative into a subversive work. It is contradicting and counterintuitive for either character to allow their self to be vulnerable with the other, which is ultimately how both end up in the final scene of the season finale. Eve and Villanelle lying in bed together in the assassin's trash department. However, upon first glance, or upon first viewing of the first season, the audience may view Eve Pilastre, the MI5 agent, and Villanelle, the international professional assassin, as polar opposites to one another, foils to each other's character. On the surface level, this may be the case. Eve is a married, middle-aged government agent with a moral conscience. The charming Villanelle is a beautiful contrast to Sandra Oh's character, a sexually promiscuous 20-something murderess with no emotional ties or morality, and with a refined taste of luxury. Although, on further inspection, and as with discussing the finer details that the producers bring forth, Eve and Villanelle are two sides of the same coin. Both characters are strong, curt, female characters who are persistent in their resolutions and fulfilling their own personal desires. Their diversion comes down to the traits that each personally lack, and of which can be readily found in the other. Eve is a stable, career-driven woman who seeks more professional power and recognition from her colleagues and higher-ups. Villanelle is a tumultuous and carefree, although so professionally driven, assassin with psychopathic tendencies who can be seen as having desires to make connections with others, as well as to have a sense of normalcy, something so fundamentally foreign to her. From the beginning of the series, Eve is characterized as an outspoken, intelligent, and forthright individual with a strong sense of conviction, seeking to be heard. Aside from her work partners who aid her in her mission to track down Villanelle, the only other person who hears her loud and clear is Villanelle herself. Eve's very own personal target, she is adamantly and disparagingly on the hunt for. In extravagant fashion, goes above and beyond to captivate and capture the attention of Eve. The characteristics that Eve lacks in her life, Villanelle revels in: power, and of the ultimate form, the power and control over someone's life. In a beautiful contrast, Villanelle lacks normalcy in her own life, that which Eve gives up in order to pursue Villanelle: an adoring partner, dinner parties with friends, and, as Villanelle pleads to Constantine in an early episode, someone to watch movies with. Ironically, all of these things Eve continues to take for granted as her obsession with Villanelle increases. This marks the beginning of Eve's transformation into a spitting image of the woman she is on the hunt for, whom lacks affection for most of those she seeks some form of gratification from.
So you trash my apartment because you like me so much.
I know it's not conventional.
In the season finale, Eve confronts Villanelle in the assassin's lavishly adorned, yet outwardly shabby-looking apartment after ravishing it in pure angst. "What do you want?" she asks of her. Villanelle frankly responds, "Normal stuff. Cool job, nice flat, someone to watch movies with." Things that, in a more ideal situation, the misunderstood psychopath could share with the story's heroine. Their differences on the surface level strongly conflict with one another. But in many ways, it is in what each lack that continues to pull them closer together. Eve and Villanelle are two sides of the same intense and strong-willed coin. It's their die-hard determination that leads them to find one another and what drives them to continue the extensive cat-and-mouse game at play. It can be said that romantic relationships are a projection of what someone wishes for in themselves. Someone may desire in a potential partner what they feel to be missing within themselves. A relationship that comes to fruition through these circumstances can become deep life lessons from each person to learn from. Certainly, each could teach the other a lot in relation to adjusting to the other's lifestyle and mindset, their ambitions and tendencies. Eve could provide a sense of stability and normality to Villanelle's life, while she can help empower Eve with the power dynamic that their connection thrives on. The two main characters in Killing Eve make a wonderful match in terms of similarities in their own personalities and desire for and appreciation of power. In spite of their occupational predicament Eve and Villanelle are placed in, it serves as a blessing and a curse. It is their highly skilled professional work that brings the two women together, while also drawing a line in the sand for each of them and repelling them apart, like the identical ends of magnets. Impossible to navigate as it stands with their occupations and means of how they have gotten to know one another. The outlook of their potential at a normal love connection is doomed from the start, therefore making the would-be lovers quintessential star-crossed lovers as well. In conclusion, what are your thoughts on the series? What are your thoughts on the dynamic between Eve and Villanelle? Leave it in the comments section below. I'd be happy to discuss it with you guys. Peace out.